Welcome to this tutorial video. The goal of this video is to show you how to navigate through and use the Hospital Invoice Screen. The easy-to-use invoice screen allows for quick and simple invoicing that benefits the workflow of your practice. Having a simple invoice layout reduces the chances of medical billing errors, such as accidentally creating duplicate invoices, since processes are in place to minimize this occurrence. Not only can patient billing be done from the screen, but medical aid claim submissions can be made too. From the case management screen, click on the desired case you would like to open the invoice of. The case management sidebar will open, where you can click on the invoice button. The hospital invoice screen will open. The collapsible invoice details section will display any important demographic data regarding the patient or debtor, along with all relevant billing information shown on the invoice header. If required, you can quickly update the billing information from here, either by ticking the appropriate checkboxes or clicking on the applicable drop-down menu and selecting the desired choice. Now we will take a more in-depth look at each available field. The service center will indicate the area in which the patient was admitted. The treating practitioner that was linked with the patient when first admitted will pull through to the invoice screen. The invoice creation date will automatically appear in the date field, and clicking on it will expand a date picker where you can modify the billing date. Please note that the invoice date must fall between the patient's date of admission and discharge, and any date outside of that range will be disregarded, preventing you from posting the invoice. Any authorization numbers will display in the authorization number field. If no authorization numbers are available, you can add one by simply clicking on the Add button. For more information on how to add authorization numbers, please refer to the Authorization Setup user manual linked in this video's description. Enter the name of the appropriate practitioner in the referring practitioners field if necessary. Alternatively, click on the Add button to search for the practitioner from a previously created list of possible practitioners. For more information on how to add practitioners to this list, please refer to the List of Practitioners overview user manual linked in this video's description. The current scheme rate, as determined by medical aid, will be displayed in the billing group field. You can easily change the used price list by clicking on the price list drop-down menu and selecting the desired option. If the patient is private, tick the private invoice checkbox to mark all payments as the responsibility of the patient. If you would like to turn the invoice into a quotation instead, simply tick the estimate invoice checkbox. A handy available feature is the ability to scan items into the invoice using a barcode scanner. Each previously set up item will populate a new line, allowing practices or labs that run on a barcode system to easily complete their invoicing. The episode series and episode number fields will become available if episode management has been enabled for your practice. Click on the Add Procedure button if you would like to add a new procedure to the invoice. The billing item search screen will open where you are able to search for and select the desired procedures. Alternatively, you can enter the information into the system manually. In the code field, type the procedure code that you would like to bill. A summary will be given for the chosen code in the description field. If necessary, change the quantity used for the chosen procedure. Additionally, for billing purposes, you can split the quantity of one line into separate lines. Click on the Repeat Item in Single Lines button. A pop-up will appear verifying if you would like to go through with the split. Click OK and the line will repeat as many times as the quantity was set for. If you would like to change the price list for only specific lines and not for the entire invoice, click on the Select Price List button. The cost of each added procedure line will display under the Amount field. The amount that the medical aid is required to pay towards the procedure will be shown under the Medical Aid Liable field. The amount that the patient is required to pay towards the procedure will be shown under the Patient Liable field. Click on the Toggle button if you would like any changes made to the amounts to reflect into the highlighted field. If the patient will be paying for specific procedure lines with no medical aid involvement, tick the Private checkbox. Click on the Reset button to reset all of the information currently being entered into the invoice line. Click on the Delete button to clear all of the lines on the entire invoice. If you would like to add a new line to the invoice, click on the Add button. To reset the information if changes were made on a specific line, click on the Line Reset button. To remove only a single line from the invoice, click on the Line Delete button. If you would like to close the invoice screen without saving any of the changes made, click on the Close button. Click on the quote button to send the quote on the medical aid via the GoodX switch to find out how much of the total cost the medical aid will cover. Various posting options are available for you to use. Post await response, which will post the invoice to the system, switch the claim to the medical aid, and await a response from the medical aid to advise if the claim has been accepted or rejected. Post only, which will not send the invoice to the medical aid, but instead directly post the invoice onto your system. And finally, post and switch, which will post the invoice to the system and switch it to the medical aid. Once satisfied with your choice, you can either click on Save and Close, which will save your work and return you to the previous screen. You can click on Save, which will only save your work but keep you on the invoice screen. Or you can even save your invoice lines as a macro by clicking on the Save Lines to New Macro button.